I'm Alex, and today we are going to be identifying the Armorer. This subclass is for the newest kid on the block, the Artificer. And just like its namesake, it focuses completely on armor, emulating Iron Man, Black Panther, even the Mandalorian, and the ability to shrug off damage or not get hurt entirely. With this subclass, you are going to be an unstoppable force on the battlefield. So, right into our first ability, Tools of the Trade, that you get at 3rd level when you select this subclass. First, you get proficiency in heavy armor, and you also gain proficiency with Smith's tools. If you're already proficient with Smith's tools, you get proficiency in one artisan tool of your choice. This is pretty simple. You're going to need Smith's tools to make that armor, and you're going to need that armor to be an armorer. At 3rd level, you also get armorer spells, which are always prepared for you and don't count against your artificer spells prepared. At 3rd level, you get magic missile and thunder wave. At 5th level, you get mirror image and shatter. At 9th level, you get hypnotic pattern and lightning bolt. At 17th level, you get pass wall and wall of force. I think these spells are both very mechanically and very thematically strong. Magic Missile and Thunder Wave are great spells to get for your 1st level slots. They're very powerful spells, especially in a pinch when it comes to Thunder Wave, and they're also very flavorfully sound. If we think about the Mandalorian, when he gets the whistling bird in his armor made out of that Beskar steel, and they're little rockets that instantly hone onto the enemy and explode. It's very cool, but also pretty strong. With some honorable mentions to Mirror Image, which is very strong with, say, Sentinel, or Lightning Bolt, which we all know is a very powerful spell. Wizards of the Coast said it themselves. And then, to round it all off, you get Wall of Force and Pass Wall, which are very good spells, even though they come out a little later. It's not going to be the earth-shattering spellcasting that you're used to, but as a half-caster, those are really good spells to have. Also at 3rd level, you get the Arcane Armor feature, which gives you a lot of benefits to your armor. First and foremost, as an action, you can turn any suit of armor into your Arcane Armor, provided that you have Smith's tools in hand. And what that means is you get a number of benefits. First, if the armor has a strength requirement normally, the Arcane Armor lacks that strength requirement. You also get the ability to use it as your spellcasting focus for your Artificer spells, and the armor attaches to you and can't be removed against your will. It also expands to cover your entire body, although you can retract or deploy the helmet as a bonus action. The armor replaces any missing limbs, functioning identically to a limb it replaces, and you can doff and don the armor as an action. And the armor continues to be Arcane Armor until you don another suit of armor or you die. Now, this is a really powerful ability. First, losing that strength requirement is really great because you don't have to have a really high strength, a 15 strength, to wear that full plate armor. You also can use it as a spellcasting focus for your Artificer spells, which means you don't have to be holding something in your hands. You can just use your armor, which as an armorer, you're going to be using quite a bit. The armor not being able to be removed from your body against your will is also really great. I also love the idea that it can replace a missing limb if you so choose. And doffing and donning the armor as an action could be useful if you get ambushed in the middle of the night. In addition, also at 3rd level, you get Armor Model, which means you basically select the Guardian or the Infiltrator models of armor, and you can switch between the two of them on a short or long rest. So what do those give you? First, the Guardian is more of your tanky, in the battle, front of the line kind of armor, and you get Thunder Gauntlets. Each of the armor's gauntlets counts as a simple melee weapon while you aren't holding anything in it, and it deals 1d8 thunder damage on a hit. A creature hit by the gauntlet has disadvantage on attack rolls against targets other than you until the start of your next turn, as the armor magically emits a distracting pulse when the creature attacks someone else. This is very cool. These gauntlets, as long as you have them in hand, since they are a special weapon granted by either the Guardian or the Infiltrator model, they do add your intelligence to attack and damage instead of your strength or dexterity if you so choose. So you're going to be dealing those devastating 1d8 plus intelligence blows on a hit. In addition to that, you basically get a free, concentrationless, saveless, compelled duel for basically one round until you hit them again, which is very fun because you force them to focus on you as you're pummeling them. Also, with the Guardian model, you get Defensive Field. As a bonus action, you can gain temporary hit points equal to your level in this class, replacing any temporary hit points you already have. You lose them if you doff the armor, and you can use this bonus action a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, regaining the uses on a long rest. This gives you a little bit of bonus action economy, while you will burn through those relatively quickly. With that high AC, you're going to be getting hit less anyway, so that temporary HP might last a little longer than you might think. In conjunction with the already high AC that you can get with the armor, this Defensive Field ability not only adds that bonus action economy, but adds further staying power to keep you in the fight and in the front line. When you select your model, you can choose instead of the Guardian to be the Infiltrator. The Infiltrator is equipped with a special weapon called the Lightning Launcher. A gem-like node appears on one of your armored fist or your chest, your choice. It counts as a simple ranged melee weapon with a normal range of 90 feet and a long range of 300 feet, and it deals 1d6 lightning damage on a hit. Once on each of your turns, when you hit a creature with it, you can deal an extra 1d6 lightning damage to that target. Now, I love this special weapon, and as a reminder, this is your special weapon, so you can use your intelligence modifier when making these ranged attacks. And it emulates that perfect Iron Man aesthetic where you're shooting those energy blasts. The range increment of 90 to 300 feet is a pretty long range increment, and that 1d6 lightning damage is fairly good. Being able to add another d6 lightning damage on top of that makes this even better. In addition to that, you also get powered steps. Your walking speed increases by 5 feet, which means you can move even faster, which is always good. In addition to that, you also get Dampening Field. You have advantage on dexterity stealth checks, and if the armor normally imposes disadvantage on such checks, the advantage and disadvantage cancel each other out as normal. So even if you're wearing heavy armor, you can still be reasonably stealthy if you have a decent stealth score, which is something that we haven't really had without the use of magic items. This is a really great ability. But even if you want to wear your half plate or even studded leather armor for whatever reason, you're still getting a benefit from picking the Infiltrator model, because now you have advantage on those stealth checks, which is very powerful. That is one of the worst parts about wearing heavy armor, is that you're so loud and you can't sneak around. So this helping that is really great. At 5th level, you get extra attack, which means you can attack twice instead of once on your turn. This is great for any martially focused class, which obviously the armor wants to be in the front lines, dealing that damage with their gauntlets, or in the back, shooting their ranged beams. So at 9th level is when this ability really begins to make the armor shine. You get armor modifications. What this does is it splits your arcane armor into multiple pieces. You have the armor piece, which is the chest piece, boots, helmet, and your armor's special weapon, which is those thunder gauntlets or that lightning launcher. You don't have to worry because these change over if you change from the Infiltrator model to the Guardian or vice versa. And in addition, you get 2 more infusions on the caveat that they are to be used on your arcane armor. I think this is when this subclass really takes off, because you're able to use those infusions on your armor without feeling guilty because you get the extra ones. Plus, it splits your armor into multiple pieces that you can infuse, so you're able to get the most value out of it. At 15th level, you get your last armor-specific ability called Perfected Armor, which gives you an added benefit to each of your armor models. First, for the Guardian, when a huge or smaller creature you can see ends its turn within 30 feet of you, you can use your reaction to magically force the creature to make a strength saving throw against your spell save DC, pulling the creature up to 30 feet towards you in an occupied space. If you pull the target to a space within 5 feet of you, you can then make a melee weapon attack against it as part of this reaction. You can use this a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus per long rest. This is so cool. If an enemy is just far out, not too far, but within 30 feet, you can pull them all the way to you and just bop them, which is so cool. And it's a very powerful ability if you can beat their strength saving throw. But since the armor is single ability score dependent, you're going to have a high spell save DC anyway. As for the Infiltrator, any creature that takes lightning damage from your lightning launcher glimmers with magical light until the start of your next turn. The glimmering creature sheds dim light in a 5-foot radius, and it has disadvantage on attack rolls against you as the light jolts it if it attacks you. In addition, the next attack roll against it has advantage, and if the attack hits, the target takes an extra 1d6 lightning damage. I really like this ability too, though I do like it a little bit less than Guardian. Though this one is a little less powerful in my opinion, I still like it very much. Having a creature have disadvantage on attack rolls against specifically you is powerful, though I do wish it was against any creature they attack, but that might have been going over the line a little bit. In addition, since they have any creature that attacks the creature you originally attacked has advantage, and if that attack hits, it deals an extra d6 lightning. Is very powerful. However, overall, I do think the armor is a very powerful subclass. It's a subclass whose AC is practically unrivaled, save for maybe some very specific builds. But under normal circumstance, you're even going to make a Bladesinger run crying with the amount of AC you can get once you start getting those infusions on this armor. A repulsion shield with enhanced defense on your armor is already going to get you pretty high if you have that full plate. The armor no longer has shield as it did in one of the original drafts, so a Bladesinger can still get a little higher if it expends its spell slot, but overall I think the armor is a very fun and reasonably powerful subclass. If I had to rank this one, I would give this one a 5 out of 5 when compared to other Artificer subclasses. I think it is one of the absolute strongest subclasses. It gives you so much. The expanded spells is really powerful, plus you're a half caster, but you can also really stand your own in martial situations. You have a lot of utility here, and I think it is very powerful. Now, if I were to rank it with the other D&D classes and subclasses, it might be a little bit lower, but when it comes to the Artificer, I think this sits right at the top with the likes of the Battlesmith. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you got this far, thank you so much for watching. You've already done so much to help the channel, and I really appreciate your support. If you have an opinion, even if it's different than mine, go ahead and leave a comment below. I'd love to engage in a discussion with you. If you liked this video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button down below. And if you support what me and Ben are doing here, please consider subscribing. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you on our next short rest.